Hey everybody, I hope that you're doing well. Today we are here to talk about boundaries. So this week on Love Bites, I really want to dive into why are boundaries hard and what to do about it. Okay, this is something that so many people, especially women, struggle with. I definitely have over the years, and it is a key part in us starting to feel prioritized and developing your worthiness and all that sort of stuff. So why are boundaries hard? Let's just start there. Well, first of all, if you struggle with boundaries, if you're like, totally me, I need some help, please put your hand up, let me know, send a thumbs up, send a heart, whatever it is in the comments, let me know that this is you, okay? So let's start with why are boundaries hard. We, as women, are taught from a very young age, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, that we should be pleasing other people. The vast majority of women have some people-pleasing characteristics, I guess you could say, about them, right? We are raised to make sure that our mom is okay and our dad's okay, and to make sure that everybody around us is happy and run around and make sure that everybody's okay. But we are not taught to turn it around and look at ourselves and ask if we're okay. Generally, right? This is a really common thing. I see this all the time. And also we get pressure all the time. There is always, and this is never going to stop, there's always going to be pressure from the world, people pulling at you, right? And this could look like something as simple as your kids running into the room and being like, Mom, I need this, and you setting boundaries for your children, or your friends wanting to gossip with you, right? Or somebody asking you to step up and be in a committee and you really don't want to do it, and not knowing how to say no to that. And so many people in this situation really struggle with not feeling worthy of the time and energy, not feeling worthy of boundaries, not feeling like they're good enough. This is such a common challenge. Excuse me. This is such a common challenge. So if this is you, then the logical thing is asking, what do I do about it? If you struggle with boundaries in your life, with your children, with your coworkers, with your friends, with your partner, how do you start setting boundaries? And there's a few different things that we can do. From my point of view, the number one thing that completely changed for me and that I see with my clients all the time is decide that you deserve it. Decide that you are worth it. And this is not just one day being like, ding, I deserve it, but this means putting the work in. This means working on your self-worth. This means working on your self-love. Deciding that you are enough. Deciding that you deserve what everybody else in your world deserves. So really beginning to put the pieces in place. This is a big part of what I talk about with all of my clients. I have a brand new program coming out soon, the Self-Love Lab, which I'm super excited about. And this is a big part of it, setting healthy boundaries, right? We talk about this a lot because it's a pretty big detail. It's really important. So really begin to work on your self-worth, begin to work on your self-love, and be willing to take small steps along the way. Like I said, nothing is going to change today. It's little bit by little bit. And then the next is be willing to be uncomfortable. Anytime you are changing something in your life, anytime you decide to change how you speak or how you react or how you engage with people, anytime you decide that you want to make a change, it's going to be uncomfortable. And this is where the small steps come in. Right? Because if you went from having zero boundaries to having very firm boundaries with everybody, number one, nobody would understand what's going on, and number two, you wouldn't know how to do it or how to keep it up. So you have to be willing to be uncomfortable and start taking small steps. And these small steps in a very practical form within these relationships can be saying no when otherwise you would have said yes. If you really deep down want to say no, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I need you to be on this committee. I need you to volunteer for this event. I need you to fill in the blank. And deep inside, you're like, hell no. This is a firm no, but you're really tempted to just be like, yeah, that would be great. big grin and saying yes, but really you're dying on the inside, you're going to begin by saying no. And be willing to be uncomfortable. And be willing to put some people off. Because if you have struggled with boundaries your whole life, chances are everybody in your circle is used to you having no boundaries. So they're used to being able to push themselves on you. So you have to be willing, in small ways, to start challenging that. And people might not understand. They might be like, what do you mean no? I don't want to. I don't want to. I have something else going on. I have whatever it happens to be. Another example would be not engaging in gossip. Having boundaries when it comes to your friends and what you talk about. So many, I hear this from a lot of women that they have some really amazing friends in their lives, but sometimes there's like that one person that brings negativity in, that one person that brings some toxicity into a relationship, or likes to gossip, or likes to just sort of, stir the pot, so to speak. And though they don't want to stop being friends with that person, they also don't want to engage with that sort of negative energy conversation or behavior. So a really good example of setting boundaries would be when somebody comes to you, when your friend comes to you and says, oh my God, did you hear what happened with blah, blah, blah? Very gently saying, I'm really not interested. I want to hear about you. Let's talk about, this, let's talk about this, and steer the conversation in a positive direction. And if your friend pulls it back, then you have to gently pull it back. And this may take some practice, and this, like I said, is going to feel uncomfortable. This can also look like with your children. I was talking to a friend earlier today whose daughter is kind of struggling with the whole, don't come in the room when mom's in there with her little brother, who's just a little baby still. Don't come in the room when it's his bedtime unless it's an emergency. And sometimes she's still coming in, opens the door, Mom, I need blah, blah, blah. And it's just calmly saying, is this an emergency? Well, no. Then remember what I told you. You can't be in here. Get out. Obviously in a nice way, but instead of just going, oh, well, you're here now, I might as well, create that boundary and saying, I said no, I will be out in 5 minutes, please do this, right? Redirecting. So these are just a few examples that I've come up with, but I really want to encourage you, wherever you struggle with boundaries in your life, again, children, partner, friends, coworkers, whatever it happens to be, wherever you struggle with boundaries, I would really encourage you to get clear on sort of what you want. Like, what kind of boundaries do you want? Do you just want the capacity to say no, or redirect conversation, or whatever it happens to be? Be really willing to be uncomfortable for a little while. It doesn't last forever, trust me. You get really good at it, and people begin to respect you when you create boundaries and you enforce them in a positive way, right? In a nice way. People begin to respect you, and they say, oh, she doesn't want to talk about that. Okay, let's just do this. Or, oh, she said no. That's fine. She's busy. It doesn't matter. They stop expecting of you because you teach people how to treat you. So by you drawing boundaries, people will begin to respect you more. They will respect your time. They will respect your boundaries, right? They'll respect what you want. And again, all of this comes from the belief that you are worth it. That's what all of these actions come back to, the belief that you're worth it. If you do not believe that you are worthy of boundaries, if you do not believe that you are good enough to draw the line in the sand, if you do not believe that, that you deserve it just like everybody else in your life, to have what you want and to be respected, none of the actions are going to work. So if the belief in your self-worth, if the lack of self-love, if the lack of confidence is the thing that is really getting in the way of your boundaries, I would really encourage you to start there. Dig into that. All right, dig into that, because that is what is going to completely transform you. So if this is something that you struggle with, I really want to invite you to jump on a call with me. Like I said, I have a brand new program coming out. We start the first week of December, and I am literally this week starting enrollment calls. It's called the Self-Love Lab. If this is something that you struggle with, you want in, jump on a call with me. Let's talk about it. Let's see if it's right for you. All right, there's going to be a link in the comments down below, so please jump on over there. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your boundaries. Book your call. I'll talk to you soon.